जय श्री माता जी। हम सब श्री माता जी को नतमस्तक होकर प्रणाम करेंगे और बंधन लेंगे। लेट अस ऑल bow down to श्री माता जी and take बंधन। तीन महामंत्र और श्री गणेश मंत्र। जय श्री माता जी। Now we will do balancing. We'll keep our right hand on Mother Earth. अब हम संतुलन करेंगे। अपने राइट हथेली को भूमि माता पर रखेंगे, लेफ्ट हथेली को श्री माता जी की ओर। और अपने लेफ्ट हैंड को राइट हैंड पे रखेंगे। राइट हैंड को राइट हैंड पे रखेंगे। लेफ्ट हैंड को लेफ्ट हैंड पे रखेंगे। और अपने राइट हैंड को लेफ्ट हैंड पे रखेंगे। लेफ्ट हैंड को लेफ्ट हैंड पे रखेंगे। पूरे हृदय से प्रार्थना करेंगे। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा करके हमारे ईड़ा नाड़ी की ओर से आने वाले सारे दोष बाधाओं को इस भू तत्व में नष्ट कीजिए। श्री माता जी, प्लीज रिमूव ऑल द negativities of ईड़ा नाड़ी into the mother earth. We will keep our right hand towards Shri Mataji and left hand towards the sky. हम अपने राइट हथेली को श्री माता जी की ओर रखेंगे, लेफ्ट हथेली को आकाश की ओर। श्री माता जी, कृपा करके हमारे पिंगला नाड़ी की ओर से आने वाली सारी दोष बाधाओं को इस आकाश तत्व में नष्ट कीजिए और कृपा करके हमारे पिंगला नाड़ी को संतुलित कीजिए। श्री माता जी, प्लीज रिमूव ऑल द negativities of Pingla Nadi into the sky element. Now we will keep our both hands on Mother Earth. हम अपने दोनों हथेली को भूमि माता पर रखेंगे। श्री माता जी, कृपा करके हमें संतुलन प्रदान कीजिए। श्री माता जी, प्लीज गिव अस बैलेंस स्टेट। Now we will keep our both hands towards Shri Mataji. We'll keep our attention on Sahasrar. हम अपने दोनों हथेली को श्री माता जी की ओर रखेंगे. चित्त को सहस्रार चक्र पर रखते हुए प्रार्थना करेंगे. श्री माता जी, कृपा करके हमें निर्विचारिता व निर्विकल्प स्थिति प्रदान कीजिए. श्री माता जी, प्लीज ब्लेस अस with thoughtless awareness and doubtless awareness state. In this meditative state, let us listen to Shri Mataji's speech. After that, we will be in meditation for a while. इसी ध्यान की अवस्था में हम श्री माता जी की अमृतवाणी सुनेंगे.
So I come to you to another center now is the Vishuddhi. This is a very important center in human beings because when this center is awakened, you become the witness. You become the collective. This is the center of the collective being. You become, again I say, you become the collective being when this center is awakened. It's a very important center. And now, as I'm with you, I must tell you about what we suffer from. And what Indians suffer from, what the Eastern people suffer from is another thing. For example, Eastern people suffer from too much talking, right side Vishuddhi we call it. And the Western suffer from not talking at all, especially English, they never talk. Actually, you have to pinch them. They never laugh. That's the problem, is they'll just smile and it's regarded good manners, but this speech sometimes very boring. Now, the left Vishuddhi is a thing which is very much more subtler than what we think of. is a very funny sort of a situation where you get a left Vishuddhi, and that you get very commonly among the Western people because they have developed a new sense of guilt. I mean, everybody is guilty. Without going to the courts, without committing any guilt, everybody is guilty all the time. Like a lady, oh, I'm so guilty. What happened? I didn't say thank you to her. So it doesn't matter what is it to be guilty after all. Oh, I'm so guilty. What happened? I spilled some coffee. It's all right, doesn't matter, it can be cleared out. What is there to be guilty? But it is an unknown guilt people have. They don't know why they are guilty. Why they are getting all the time this feeling, oh God, I should not have done it. I should not have done that. What? What guilt? What guilt we can have? And this guilt is a horrifying thing. I have seen start from America, England, Portugal, Spain, Italy, all that, Switzerland, all these places, nothing but left Vishuddhi is the first problem and the last which I have to conquer. One lady got up and she said, Mother, I am guilty because of Vietnam. I said, Vietnam? It's finished long time back now. What are you going to do about it? No, but I'm guilty about it. But why? What are you going to do about it? How are you concerned with it? What is your relationship with it? Why are you guilty? I just feel guilty. I said, it's nonsense. Like that. Everybody has developed this. Now, from where does it come? Let's see the source. The first source comes from Bible, which is very wrongly interpreted, saying that you are a sinner, a born sinner. I mean, absurd. What it means is that you are the one who is only aware of the sins, not the animals. You are the one who is aware of your ignorance, not the animals. You are the one who is aware of your blindness. Others are not. Animals are not. Why? Because within you is developed that I-ness. That I-ness, as I told you yesterday, is developed because of the ego and superego meeting here. Because you raised your head. Because this chakra was to be enlightened. You raised your head and this ego and superego went and met here, they calcified, you got your I-ness, and that's why you think I've done wrong or I've done right. Animals don't think like that. They are not bothered. They have to do what they do. They want to do that. They never sit down and say, I'm guilty. Have you ever met any animal who says that? Except for the human beings? All the time. Now, this has come to, it's a myth. It's a very big myth with which you are living. It's absolute myth. Believe me. There is nothing like guilt. And this guilt is eating you off all the time. It is making you an inertia. It is making you feel so much lost. And this center is very important to be opened out. So first of all, before I start any program, I tell them 1 month I should say, Mother, I am not guilty, Mother, I am not guilty, 16 times. That's the punishment for being guilty. If you are guilty, you must go into punishment, all right? So this is the punishment for you, is to say, Mother, I am not guilty, Mother, I am not guilty. Say it 16 times, and that's how you get rid of it. It's so practical. It works out. With that, you get spondylitis, you get pain in the heart, you get this hand, what you call frigid hand, all problems you get with that. And that is all because of this mythical guilt you are working on. Now, the another myth comes. The source of it, I think, is the psychologist, the so-called psychologists. They have no sense of psyche because they have no way of entering into psyche. What they are doing is recording, finding out, and trying to cure people. How many mad people have they cured? Sahaja Yoga must have cured hundreds. How many mad people have they cured? They have not cured anyone. On the contrary, if you go to a psychologist, you might become more mad, the way they are mad themselves. Because the psychologists, when they talk to people, they don't know they are dealing with pathological cases, abnormal cases. And when you deal with the pathological cases, you yourself get intoxicated by that, or you can say that there is contamination and you don't know how to protect yourself. Jung is the only psychologist, I would say, because he was quite a perfect person after he got realization, who talked of it, that a physician can get sick. Now they start becoming pathological, like poor this Freud, half-baked. He is the one who started talking about sex and things like that, but he himself was a perverted man. He died of cancer. What did he get in his own life? He was such a perverted man. I mean, imagine he was a wretched soul who died of cancer. How can he guide you on any point whatsoever? Now, whatever he taught, we took him as Bible. More than Bible, people believe in Freud. More than Christ, they believe in him, actually. And if you reduce it to a minimum sentence, you can say he made everyone a sex point. You are nothing beyond it, nothing more than that, nothing else but that. Imagine to reduce your dignity to that level. As a mother, I just give him a grace mark by saying, poor fellow must have dealt with pathological cases and he was caught up and he gave these wrong ideas to me. He dealt only with the psyche, with the left side, which is also starting from there, but ends up there, ends up into your superego. So, sex addiction takes you to superego, means it takes you to your subconscious mind and your collective subconscious. Now, all your problems you are having or sex are because of this. Emotional behavior and all perversions take you to collective subconscious. There was a girl in India which is very abnormal. She came to me and she said that she wants to be with men and she wants to be with girls and she wants to marry a girl. She wants to dress up like a man. I said, really? So I gave her some Sahaja yoga treatment and I found that there was a man in her. She was reduced to nothing. It was a man who was possessing her. And she was given these ideas through that man. And that's how she was talking. She was a possessed person. All these abnormalities come because you get possessed. There was a girl in Cuba who came to see me from Cuba in America, a short girl, very petite, small, good-looking girl. And she told me, her husband told me, Mother, surprising, my wife can take whiskey bottle neat like that, once she can drink it down. So I said, all right, sit down. I gave her a bandhan, as we call it. And I saw a big, huge, like a globetrotter, really a very huge Negro coming out of her. When I looked at her, I said, do you know any Negro? She said, Mother, do you see him? Do you see him? He is the one who drinks. I do not drink. She said. And when he was distracted from her, she became such a sweet wife to her husband. All these abnormal behaviors, when you overdo it, lead us to that collective subconscious where you catch all these horrible people. Also, it can lead you to collective supraconscious if you become very, very egoistical. Then you can become Hitler. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong with Hitler? Nothing wrong. He was perfectly correct when he said that he has come to save all the Aryan race and his nose was a specially made one. I mean, God must have been surprised to hear all that. I mean, you have to create some variety, isn't it? But this is what it is. I mean, these absurd things that we do in our life as saying, what's wrong? We jump into those ditches where you cannot return without some load on your head. And those loads work out all the things and you become such abnormal people. Then on the streets you will stand and shout like a madman. And if you provoke them, they are even worse. So better not talk to them and argue with them. Forget them. All those fanatics that we see are nothing but possessed people. Most of them are possessed. I would say so many of presidents and these despotic people, most of them are possessed. I meet them, I shake hands with them, they shake before me, and I know that they are possessed people. How are they there? They should not be there. They are possessed, they possess other people, they make them work out, and all this aggressiveness starts through their possessive powers. So this center is the one which brings you back to normal. And then once the Kundalini rises and touches your fontanelle bone area and opens it out, then from your hand through this center, that collective personality starts manifesting. You become the collective personality. You become, again I say, it's the actualization. It is not that we are brothers and sisters, let us form United Nations and make good money out of it. It is actualization that you feel another person within yourself. And this is what is most important. This center, I can talk about this, I don't know how many hours, but this center has 16 subplexuses. And it looks after your eyes, nose, ear, nose, throat, everything, neck, even your face and all that is governed by this. A collective person, a collective being has a face, which has a coefficient that even the face can emit vibrations. But this is to be seen only through vibrations. You will know who is the collective being. The most important is this part of the head, where I told you that when you bow yourself to wrong things, this is the biggest obstruction, is the lower plate of the brain, which is called as Murdha in Sanskrit language. It's very important, gets swollen up, and a big barrier is built. And you become a person completely cut off from the all-pervading power. Means all the protections, all the guidance, all the nurturing things, everything starts disappearing from your life. Now we go ahead with that center to the center here, which is very important and which I must tell you, though it's time to finish this lecture, is the center of Agya, which is placed in the center of pituitary and pineal body, which controls our ego and superego. Between the optic chiasma, a very subtle center exists. Some people call it a third eye, but the third eye they see is not the one I'm talking about. The third eye means the eye which sees inside, not outside. This center is very important and is adorned by the deity of Mahavishnu according to Indian name, and English name is Lord Jesus Christ. This is a very important center. Now seek your Lord. Where do you seek him? Where does he exist? He is to be awakened and he resides here. Because most of you are coming from that background, I want to talk about it. Though Mahavira and Buddha, both of them also reside within us. Mahavira resides here and Buddha resides here. But Christ resides here in the center, inside the brain. Now this is a very important thing which all the Christian institutions have missed about Christ. That Christ is to be born within us, that he is to be awakened within us. That is only done through Kundalini awakening. And once he is awakened at that point, the ego and superego both are sucked by him as a result of his awakening. And this is a very big thing. That's why I said, I am the door. But very nice, they crucified him. But that crucifixion was also a drama, because ego and superego has pressed these points so hard that to pass through that, you needed somebody to be just divine. And he was Omkara himself, the divine personality, who never died and passed through that. Krishna has said, who is at this point, has said that Nainam Chidanti Shastrani Nainam Dahati Pavaka. He said, this divine power, this Omkara, never can be killed by anyone. It cannot be destroyed by anyone. And this itself took the birth of Jesus Christ to create that passage for us. And that is the thing he proved, that it cannot be killed. But they are all one and related to each other. This you will discover in Sahaja Yoga itself. Because once the rapport is established, you have to ask questions. What is the relationship between Jesus and Krishna? And you can discover it in your vibrations. They are all related to each other, very closely. Christ has said, those who are not against me are with me. Nobody has tried to find out who are those. It is said in the Bible that I'll appear before you like tongues of flames. Nobody tried to find out what is that. Or tree of life. Yes, this is the tree of life. So he is to be awakened within you. That's the main point that he said, that somebody will come and awaken it so that you will know my Father forever. Now, which one of the institutions which are running in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ are doing that job? What they are doing is having a fete or a carnival, collecting money, building churches, this, that. You have to build every human being as a church by awakening Christ in them. That was what was meant by baptism. But who did baptism in the real sense is the Kundalini awakening, where it comes on the fontanelle bone area, which is called as Brahmarandra, and breaks through that. Who has done that? None. I went to a church called Unity Church. They have united all the churches, I believe, and also united all the ghosts of the world. All kinds of fake gurus are there. All kinds. They have no discrimination of any kind. I was so amazed, Christ. He was not so diplomatic, I should say, because the way he lashed at these people, and then he said, if they are hot, we can manage them. Means if they are hot, means they are cut up, we'll manage them. If they are cold, we like them. But if they are halfway, I spit them out of my mouth. These are his words. Because these half-baked people, compromising with the devil and talking of God, how are they going to deliver the goods? Why not awaken your Christ within yourself and see for yourself? You'll be amazed when you raise the Kundalini and Kundalini comes up to this point and it cannot go further. Among all the Christians, this is a problem. You have to ask them to say Lord's Prayer and it works. That's a mantra. At the time when this center is guided, because Krishna is a collective being, Allahu Akbar means the same. You have to put your fingers into ears and say Allahu Akbar. Realize souls. And you get the Kundalini rising. You can see the pulsation of the Kundalini at the triangular bone. You can see the rising of the Kundalini. You can feel the breaking of the Kundalini at the Sahasrara, at the point where it comes and breaks. So you enter through the gate of Christ, who sucks these two institutions and makes the way here. And once the Kundalini rises about Agya, you become thoughtless. The limbic area is the kingdom of God, from where you are guided and the Kundalini passes through. That's the last job that is to be done, and now it is done. That is done now en masse. It has to be done. It was to be done. It was promised. The time has come. But where are the people? Sometimes I wonder. I'm in England now with you. You'll be amazed that in India, these people have seen thousands and thousands are there to receive realization in the villages. Here I find people don't want reality. You should have a circus. At least English people come, but Indians, very few, and they never stick on. It's so amazing, I can't understand. It's amazing how things work. When are we going to take to it? I mean, it's free. You don't have to pay anything. It's your own. It is spontaneous. It is there. But still, they get realization, they get lost. It's something so surprising. I've been working here, you won't believe, 10 years now. 8 years? 8 years. For 4 years, in the first 4 years, I had 6 people. They would come up, go down, come up, go down. I said, what sort of people? 4 years. Can you imagine? In India, I go for 3 months and I get thousands. Is it that there are very few who are going to be saved? As told by John, he said only few thousand are going to be saved. Is that what we are going to do in the West? But England is the minimum. You'll be amazed. Even Italy is better. Switzerland, Geneva, so much better. What's happening? Here they run after a man who is asking for a Rolls Royce. A fellow who asked for a 59th Rolls Royce, they starved themselves and made a Rolls Royce for him. And when he came, they gave him the Rolls Royce. Imagine. They said he's a perfect master. There is no pure intelligence left in the mind to understand that how can you get spirit for this nonsensical Rolls Royce. At least Derbyshire are not, people from Derbyshire should not be impressed by that very much, because they make it here. You cannot make God, can you? You can make Rolls Royces, all right. Can you exchange Rolls Royce for God? They are running after such horrible things, like horrible another thing that somebody is trying to teach you how to fly. The wife of the director is sitting here, who started suffering with epilepsy. Her husband got epilepsy, her daughter got epilepsy. They all were epileptic and they were paying thousands of pounds, 3,000 pounds to fly. And they started hopping themselves like a frog. Imagine. With pure intelligence, you must ask that guru to drop himself from the leaning tower of Pisa. I think it was made only for that. And see if he can fly even 1 inch higher. Why not use your intelligence? You are supposed to be the most balanced and intelligent people. Yesterday I told you that you are placed. The most important place in the universe is the heart. England is the heart of the universe, and the heart is lethargic. What can I do? You have to tell me, what am I to do to pump this heart into reality? There are seekers. I would not say there are seekers. When it came to hippism, thousands became hippies. But all absurd things they accept very easily, and why not the thing that you are seeking? It's beyond my mind. I cannot understand. Now, I didn't come to this place as an immigrant, as I told you. I came here because something happened and my husband got elected to this country, which was important, which was, I think, was preordained, was to be. But I have to implore you now to take to this and understand that this is what William Blake has told you, that the prophets are going to be in this country. That the God of men are going to become prophets and they are going to have the power to make others prophet. That is Sahaja Yoga. There's nothing else but this. He has promised so many things. He has even described the house where I lived. He has described the house that we are occupying now, exact position. He has described the ashram where we lay our foundations to. Into such details that I am amazed, such a great sage and a seer was born in this great country and nobody wants to see through. Now what am I to do? I hope very soon people would realize that they have to take a very big role, a very important and vital role in the transformation of the whole humanity and saving of this disastrous time. They are the ones who have to lead people into the kingdom of God. I can hope and bless that. May God bless you. Luckily, we have a very good standard of the Sahaj Yogis in Derbyshire. Really surprising. And Blake has mentioned Derbyshire very much. They wanted me to come to Derbyshire. I said, Birmingham has been sufficient for me and I will not go to Derbyshire. They said, Mother, please. And then he said, Blake has mentioned you come to Derbyshire. That's how I'm here. And I hope that this center will definitely create very good Sahajogis. Great profits can be created out of this. After all, Blake has mentioned Derbyshire very strongly, recommended it. But what I find today when I went for a drive, there's a lot of black magic on. People are indulging into horrible, horrible things. I was worried, quite worried. It's a very dangerous thing. It's dangerous for you, for your children, for your families, for everyone. And I found those pockets. I was amazed how they are prospering here. May God give you strength and proper wisdom to understand how you are placed in relation to the great work of God. If you have any questions, we can have for about 5 minutes. Yesterday, many people asked questions. Actually, first day only I allow people to ask questions, because second is quite a waste of time. Now, don't ask personal questions, for heaven's sake. Don't ask any personal question. That we'll attend to them later on, personally. They can be attended to. But anything general, if you want to ask, please ask a question general. Is there Indian?
Have you seen God yourself?
Why do you ask this question? Are you authorized to ask that question? First you see your spirit and then we'll talk about it. Why should you ask such a question? Are you an Indian? Then at least keep some manners. Please be seated. This kind of an arrogant question should not be asked. Have you seen God? Why should you ask me such a question? What authority have you got to ask that question to me? I have to ask you a question. Have you felt your spirit? All right? First feel your spirit. That's why Buddha never talked of God. I yesterday only told you. Because suddenly you want to see God. Have you got eyes to see God? You can't see me even. How can you see God? First of all, become your spirit. Then we'll talk about it. A little child won't go and talk to a king and slap him on the face, will he? Is he supposed to do that? We must know our boundaries, our maryadas. Especially Indians must know. I'm surprised sometimes to ask such a question like that. Have you seen God? Whether I have seen it or not, why should I tell you? But what is he saying?
Leave it, please. Let's have another question.
Doesn't behave you. It's very arrogant. I'm surprised that you've learned such ways here. It's never done by an Indian. It's very embarrassing.
Any other questions?
Just imagine, if I've seen it, is he going to believe me or not seen it? ये हिंदुस्तानियों का हाल है. हमारे तो नाक कटा के रख. इतना रद्दी लौट आया हुआ इस देश में. All the scum has come sometimes.
Any other questions, or would you all like things to?
I mean, what a question it is. Have you seen or not?
Okay, everyone slip their shoes off, feet on the floor. Just simply rest your hands on your lap.
अपनी मर्यादाएं तक नहीं रह गई.
Would you like the other microphone, or this okay? This microphone okay?
Oh, I would like to have, because I can speak, but I will not touch it very hard. But in India, you won't find such people. I don't know from where these materialistic, absolutely gross people are. I mean, what a question to ask me. It's never done. I'm here to give you self-realization. That's all. And you should get it. That's your right. This is a bank, I should say, and I have to sign your checks. That's all. If you get your check signed, that's all. Finished. That's my relationship with you. I'm not going to tell you about myself to get crucified again. Christ tried to tell something about himself, and they crucified him. Now, if I tell him, of course, I know about God, he's not going to accept. If I say I don't know, then he's not going to accept. Stupid. Indians are not stupid at all. They're very wise people, I must say. I'm surprised from where this stupidity has come. Very wise. Indians are very wise because it's a yoga bhumi. It's such an ancient country of ours. You don't know the praises of this country. I cannot. Do not judge them by the people you see. No, 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 no. It's a very great country. It's very great, spiritual, absolutely spiritual country. See, these are, I don't know what's the matter with the very superficial people have come here. Extremely superficial. There are some great souls also, I say. But don't judge. Don't judge that great country. Once I was going to India with my husband and told him, you have touched our country. He said, how do you know? I said, see the vibrations. The whole country is vibrating. The atmosphere is vibrating. He said, really? I said, you go and ask the pilot. We were in the first class, we went down and I asked him. He said, sir, we just touched it about a minute back. Such a great country like that. The Kundalini of the universe resides in that country. Can you imagine? The Kundalini. And they have no desire to seek. That's the power of desire that resides there. And they have no power to seek. Kya kare? Kiske samne roye? I'm myself surprised. And those who have come also like gurus, horrible people making money. I'm ashamed if I am an Indian by any chance, or if, as I'm ashamed, I sometimes feel, what have they done to what we had? We have such a tremendous heritage. You are just the shoot, you are just the outside, you are the tree, we are the roots. You can't live without us. We are your roots. And these roots I see, I can't understand. Still, it's all right. It's the concern of a mother. Let's have it. Now, put your hands towards me, please. All of you, take out your shoes. You must have seeking. If you have no seeking, what's the use of coming to my program?
जय श्री माता जी। हम श्री माता जी को धन्यवाद प्रदान करेंगे। श्री माता जी, आज के सामूहिक ध्यान के लिए हम आपके ऋणी हैं। थैंक यू श्री माता जी फॉर टुडेज कलेक्टिव मेडिटेशन। वी विल बो डाउन टू श्री माता जी एंड टेक बंधन। हम श्री माता जी को नतमस्तक होकर प्रणाम करेंगे और बंधन लेंगे। जय श्री माता जी।